Hello and good evening everyone and welcome to this live session. Good evening. Please confirm if I'm audible and visible to all of you. क्या आप मुझे देख पा रहे हैं, क्या आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं? Please confirm करिए in the chat box. Good evening Nidhi, good evening SS, good evening Ankita, good evening Goshal, good evening Lakshmidhar, good evening Keshav, Surthiraj, Nikhil SH, Shankar. Good evening guys and welcome to this live session. Tejasvi, good evening. Manisha Behra, good evening, Shriya, Sulekha. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this live marathon session of our favorite subject, Cost and Management Audit. So, why is Cost and Management Audit our favorite subject? The reason is that we cost accountants are supposed to do cost audit, and it's a monopoly that we are actually having monopoly in this area of cost audit. Therefore, this is our favorite subject, sir. Once we qualify CMA, then we are definitely going to do cost audit. So cost audit is definitely our favorite subject. So if your favorite subject is cost audit, then write a yes in the chat box. Write a yes in the chat box if cost audit is your favorite subject. Write yes in the chat box, because CMA profession is actually practically dependent on this particular subject called cost audit. Yes, it's very much a supporting factor which is there. Gayatri, Uma Krishnamurthy, good evening. Milan Das, good evening. Salna, Nivya, Aarti Jain, Abhishek Kumar. Yes, everyone is writing yes. Very good. Aarti Jain is writing no. I get bored while studying audit, huh? Abhishek Kumar Sarma say yes. BVM, SPM2, yes. Strategic performance management and business valuation also should be your favorite subject, because guys, these two subjects are going to get you the aggregate marks which you require. That is the beauty of these two subjects. If you want to score the aggregate, if you are giving both the groups, and if you want to score the aggregate, then these two subjects will push your aggregate to the next level. Please understand this fact. And both the subjects are very small as compared to the other subjects of CMA final. So yes, guys, Ganapat Joshi, good evening. Sankari, Srinivasa, good evening. Yes. So good evening, guys, and welcome to this session of live marathon of cost and management audit. And yes, we have, in the last two sessions, we have completed two important chapters of our syllabus, which are basics of cost audit and cost accounting, record rules, and audit rules. Okay. These two chapters are definitely important. Now, today we are going to start again an important chapter of your syllabus, which is the professional ethics and responsibilities. Okay. I'll give you a brief history about this particular subject, this particular chapter. Guys, the chapter is that now this particular chapter was introduced in 2008 syllabus. Of course, it was there in 2008 syllabus, and it was omitted from 2012 syllabus. When 2012 syllabus came and I saw Cost and Management Audit book of Study Mat, this chapter was omitted from it, and only one or two paragraphs, 1-2 pages was there inserted in some other chapter. Okay, this chapter was absolutely omitted. But I was adamant to the fact that if you are willing to become a cost auditor, if you tomorrow see yourself as an auditor, if you see yourself as a professional tomorrow, this chapter is definitely to be done by you. Even if institute has erased this chapter from syllabus 2012, this chapter should be studied by each and every CMA. I was a firm believer of this particular fact, and to my surprise, in the examination, guys, question came from this particular chapter. That is the importance of this chapter. And yes, in 2016 syllabus, this chapter was very much there, and 2022 syllabus, of course, this chapter is there. You can actually expect, and you can expect a mandatory question from this particular chapter, 4 to 5 marks, maximum 6 marks. Okay, 4 to 5 marks, theoretical case study based question you can expect from this particular chapter. And yes, this particular chapter is definitely an important chapter. So Abhishek Kumar Sarma says the main reason behind is that you are teaching those subjects. Wow, what a good comment. Okay, Abhishek, thank you so much for this appreciation. So if I teach all the subjects, say, so tomorrow I start teaching all the subject of CMA final, then will all your subjects be your favorite subjects? What logic? So Gopika is saying, sir, but I'm sure I've attended all the questions in previous exam. It was direct question, but I got 20. At least one word will get approximately 17. I too demotivated. Gopika, don't be demotivated. Okay, sometimes your expectations and examiner's expectations are very different. Under this situation, I would recommend you to pull out your copy and see what is the error that you are doing. All right, so guys, let's start today's session of professional ethics and responsibilities. So as a professional, I'll ask you a simple question. Please, write in the chat box whether it's a yes or no. Okay. We have seen a lot of advertisements on TV, right? We see actors like Ranbir Kapoor, Ranveer Singh, Deepika Padukone, Pariniti Chopra, Priyanka Chopra. All these actresses and actors come on the television and they publicize a lot of products. Okay. So, Vimal Supari being advertised by Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan, big actors come on television and advertise about products of these big companies, and there's huge budget which is allocated for marketing for these particular companies, for these particular products. Now, my question to all of you is that, guys, do you think advertisement is also required by cost auditors? So once you become a cost auditor, do you need advertisement? Do you need to advertise your services? Do you think you also need advertisement? Because in today's world, we don't see advertisements of cost auditor. I mean, we don't see a situation where Aishwarya Rai Bachchan is coming on the screen and saying that, okay, if you want to get your cost audit done, then only get it done by ABC cost accountants. We have never seen that scenario. Or we have never seen banners being put, of cost accountants publicizing about their achievements, about their services, about their cost audit, about their expertise in income tax or audit or GST or any other matter. We have never seen any professionals advertisement on television or billboard. Why? What is the reason? Do you think they don't need advertisement? Do you think professionals don't need advertisement? Do you think so? Everyone is saying no. Everyone is saying no. Any particular reason? Why are you saying no? Sankari is saying no. Aarti Jain is saying no. Nidhi Suman is saying no. Abhishek Kumar is saying no. Ankita Murarka. Any particular reason? Cost auditor should not advertise. Why? Why cost auditor should not advertise? That is my question. Tejasvi is saying cost auditor should not advertise. Why? So guys, very frankly, every person or every product or every service in this world needs advertisement. Advertisement is required by everyone, whether it's a service, whether it's a product. Advertisement is definitely required by each one of us. But unfortunately or fortunately, all the professionals are bound by certain guidelines given to them by their respective institutes. For example, doctors are bound by the guidelines which are given to doctors by the Indian Medical Association. Engineers are also bound by the guidelines which are given by their own institute. Similarly, cost accountants are bound by the guidelines which are given by CMA Institute. So once you qualify CMA and you give your both the groups and you qualify and you apply for your membership, you will be taken in writing that you will not advertise your services. You will not undertake advertisement of your services. This will be taken in writing from you. But sir, why such a harsh imposition on professionals? Guys, the reason is that profession is a very noble thing. And if we allow professionals to advertise their services, if we allow professionals to go all out in market and tell about their services and hire big film stars or actors and tell about their services, then somewhere the integrity of the profession will be compromised. एक हिंदी का वर्ड मुझे याद आ रहा है, गरिमा of the profession will be compromised. The respect which profession has, that will be compromised. And that is the reason why doctors, engineers, architects, CMAs, chartered accountants, company secretaries are not permitted to advertise. Because somewhere, if we permit advertisements of any of the professionals, then guys, our integrity will be compromised. And we don't want any dark spot on our goodwill. Our goodwill will be compromised. So once you become member of any professional body, once you become member of any professional institute, and I am aware because I am member of 3 professional bodies, if you become member of any professional institute or body, then guys, your behavior is also governed by that body. How do you behave? How do you talk? How do you walk? How does your visiting card look like? All these things will be governed by the professional body whose membership you have taken. So the behavioral control See, one is work related control. Work related controls means if you are doing audit, you don't have to do fraud. If you're doing audit, then you have to follow these guidelines, these principles, cost accounting standards, rules you have to follow. This is profession related guidelines, guys. This is professional related things that are imposed on you. But what I'm talking about is that you need to behaviorally also adhere to the requirements given to you by the CMA Institute. Your behavior, your conduct, what kind of social media profile are you creating? What kind of image are you creating about the profession in the world? And why is these professionals so particular about their image? Because guys, whenever something goes wrong, then the headlines do not read as Mr. Ram, Mr. Mohan did this wrong. No, the headlines will read as leading doctor of Delhi commits this offense. So the profession is at stake. Goodwill of profession is at stake. That's why we are saying we will govern your behavior also. We will not allow you to do certain unethical things. We will not allow you to do certain things which will put a dark spot on the profession. Because tomorrow, if anything goes wrong, then the headlines will read as cost accountant in practice does this wrong thing. And that is the reason. You are the brand ambassadors of profession. The members of the institute, the members of the professional body are the brand ambassadors of the profession. And that is the reason why strict guidelines, strict professional ethics are laid down. And before you are given membership of any professional body, you have to sign these these guidelines. You have to do your signature on these guidelines, that you will follow these guidelines very, very carefully. Guys, very important guidelines are given under these professional ethics and responsibilities. And yes, these govern your behavior. These don't govern your work. These govern your behavior. So people advertise through websites and their services provided are enlisted there. So website is permitted. Website, if you create a website and enumerate your services, it is permitted. It is not considered as advertisement, because everyone prepares their website. So website is okay. Okay. I am a doctor's. Yes. Fiduciary duties. Very good. Goshal Dake. Fiduciary duty and fiduciary position and trust is there. Definitely. Definitely. Okay. So guys, you must have seen, visiting cards of CMAs, visiting cards of CAs are there only in black and white color. Apart from the logo can be in color, but apart from the logo, everything else should be in black and white. Two colors are permitted. Guys, we don't want a situation where CMA is giving you card and his card is so flashy that you are seeing multiple colors, rainbow colors in that card. We won't have that situation. If a CMA, if a cost accountant is coming to your office, he should not wear t-shirt and jeans. He should always wear formal clothes. Tell me one thing, guys. As a teacher, on my entire channel, you always see me in formals. Have you ever seen me in casuals? Answer is no. What stops me? What stops me? As a teacher, I'm not bound by any professional guideline that I have to follow this mandatorily. I'm not bound by any guideline. Still, I make it a point that I always wear formals whenever I'm in front of all of you. The reason is I want to imbibe this subtle habit, this subtle mannerism in you, that tomorrow when you are going to some client's place or having some public dealing, guys, do not wear t-shirts and jeans. You should be in formals. That is the reason. Always, whenever I'm going to my class, also my face-to-face batch or my live batch, I'm always in formals. I do not wear t-shirts or jeans, as a matter of practice. The reason is very simple. I can easily wear t-shirts and jeans, but I want to imbibe this mannerism in hearts and soul of my students, that students, you are a professional. You are going to be a professional. If you're going to be a professional, then you have to, the first step is you have to look like a professional. You have to look like a professional. That is the first step in becoming a professional. Sir, so much of harsh provisions on us, so much of harsh restrictions on us. Yes, guys, because with great powers come great responsibilities. You are given the power of signing cost audit report. On the basis of your cost audit report, Ministry of Corporate Affairs will make its decision for the entire country. And you are telling me that you want to advertise your services using some actors and actresses on television. No, guys, not acceptable. Sorry. I won't permit this. Institute of Cost Accountants of India will not permit this. So yes, today the subject matter under consideration is that, there are some behavioral guidelines, behavior related restrictions which are imposed, and these behavior related instructions are known as professional ethics, which every cost auditor is expected to obey, is expected to fulfill, because these are very very core of any profession. Okay, now what is the objective of this code? Why is this code there? Sir, just dial, some firms are registered, it is also comes under professional ethics. No, just dial is okay. Just dial is not a problem. See, advertisement means public advertisement, television, radio, banners, hoardings. That is not permitted. Just dial is okay. Just dial is just like a directory. Okay, directory where you are informing that yes, if you want a cost auditor is here. So that is just a directory. Okay. Okay. So objective of this code. What is the objective of this code? Why is this code there in our profession? What is the objective of this code? Let's study. So the objective of this code, I have integrity, competence. The objective of this code is to imbibe certain virtues in you, is to imbibe certain good things in you. Yes. CPOPI. Aarti is giving a shortcut trick. Very good, Aarti. Aarti, where did you learn these shortcut tricks from? Very good. Superb. So yes, I'll also give you a shortcut trick of this part. Okay. So objectives of this code is to imbibe, is to give you certain virtues, certain good things for your benefit. What are those? They are integrity, competence, confidentiality, objectivity, and professional behavior. I have abbreviated as ICCOP. So guys, these professional ethics are just like cop. They are policemen, but they are behavioral policemen. They are guiding, or they are regulating your behavior. So ICCOP. COP is policeman. Okay. So you can use this abbreviation ICCOP. ICCOP. That abbreviation you can use. Okay. So integrity, you should be straightforward and honest. First and foremost thing which is expected from an auditor is that he should be honest. If there's something hanky panky going on in the financial statements or cost statements, you should be honestly telling it about it to the shareholders. So first thing is he should be honest and straightforward. Competence, he should be knowledgeable, he should be skillful, and he should be diligent. So three elements are added in competence. Competence means whether you are able to perform as the role of the cost auditor or not. That is ability. Okay. So in case of ability, you have three things: your skill should be there, your knowledge should be there, and diligence. Diligence means you should be careful while doing your work. You should not be careless. You should be careful while doing your work. So competence has three elements to it. Confidentiality, very very important, guys. You should not disclose any information in case of any engagement to anyone. Okay. Do not share any confidential information, because guys, as an auditor, you will be privy to some very very sensitive, price sensitive information. So you should not disclose confidential information to anyone. Confidentiality is a very very important virtue that these professional ethics will imbibe in you. Now I'll tell you my personal example of confidentiality. Okay, and how sometimes doing some loose talks. Are you aware about what is loose talks? Loose talks or small talks. Small talks means gossips. How gossips or small talks lead to breach of confidentiality. I'll give you an example. Okay. So guys, I was auditing a very big garment manufacturing company, cloth, basically cloth manufacturing company. I was auditing that company, and during the course of audit, I came to know that this company is going to shake hands in case of a joint venture with a Japanese company. They both will join hand in near future. For that, they have also purchased a land whereby they'll be establishing a factory, and that Japanese company and this company will join hands and establish a company in that particular area. Okay, I came privy to this information. Why did I come privy to this information? Because I was the auditor. I had to check all the documents and all the happenings which are happening in the company. So I checked all the things. Okay, now this was a confidential information. This company was listed company, and this information was not out in market as yet. I wasn't aware about this fact. So once the audit was over, I came back to office, and once I came back to office, I was having just a normal chit chat, small chat over coffee with one of my friends who was in office, and he asked me, Nikhil, where were you in audit for so many days? I told him I was in this particular company, and this company is planning a joint venture with a very big company of Japan. This is name of the company in Japan, and I came to know this. I in flow, in advertence, in flow, I talked about all these things to that particular friend, and that friend was a stock market investor. He immediately purchased some shares of that particular company, and he got profit, because once this information was public, at that point in time, the share price rose. So this information became public, share price rose. So this is how small talks means gossips, can lead to be breach of confidentiality. Guys, you should make sure that you should not do small talks or gossips about your client in your office or with your parents also. Some people have a habit of, coming back home and saying everything to their mom, which is a good habit, Whatever happened during the day, you will tell you to your mom, which is a very good habit. But guys, even to your mom, any confidential information related to client must not be disclosed. Confidentiality is a very, very, very important virtue. So confidentiality is a virtue which is there in professional ethics. Then objectivity means you should be fair, you should not be prejudiced or biased, you should be able to say what is milk, you should be able to distinguish between milk and water. Okay, that ability should be there, objectivity should be there in you. And professional behavior, this is the most important thing. Your act, your mannerism should be absolutely professional. I mean, professionals do not raise their voice when they're angry. Professional, in fact, keep mum when they're angry. They become silent when they're angry. So you need to demonstrate professional behavior. Just like I told you, at client's place, you cannot wear a jeans and a t-shirt. No, you cannot do that. So these are the virtues which we want to instill in you, and that is why this professional ethics is always given to the professionals who pass out a professional examination, so that they can adhere to the rules and regulations which are given in these professional ethics. Now let's come on to the rules and regulations. Rahana KK says, love from Kerala. Thank you so much, Rahana. Love to you also, to all the Keralites. All right. So now the contents of schedule of CWA Act are briefly discussed. And now we come to the main content of this particular chapter. What are the activities which, if you do, it will be said that you are breaching professional ethics? What are those activities? Now we'll be discussing all those activities which come under category of breach of professional ethics. We'll start with the first schedule. So in total we have 4 schedules. We'll start with the first schedule. Okay, first schedule, part 1. So first schedule, part 1, is related to professional misconduct in relation to cost accountant in practice. A cost accountant who has a COP. Okay, who's a cost accountant in practice? A cost accountant in practice is a cost accountant who has a COP, certificate of practice. Guys, yesterday I told you that once you become a qualified CMA, then you will be given an option. Either you can become a practicing cost accountant, or you can choose to do your job. So in relation to cost accountant in practice, these professional ethics are applicable. These are not applicable in case of people who are in employment. For people who are in employment, for CMAs who are in employment, we have a separate schedule. This is for people who are in practice. Professional misconduct in relation to cost accountant in practice. For example, a practicing cost accountant should not. So what are the things that a practicing cost accountant should not do? He should not allow any person to practice in his name other than his CMA partners. So professional CMA cost accountant should not allow anyone else to practice on his name. So guys, sometimes what happens is, and this is a very common practice, people give their name. People retire and they give their name just for namesake. Sometimes empanelment of auditors, it helps if you have more partners in your CMA firm. Okay, so some people just give their name. They don't actually come to office. They don't actually come to work, which is not good. Okay, although if you give your name to CMA partners, that's okay. But if you are allowing any other person to practice in your name, so for example, if there's a lawyer and he needs valuation services, and you tell the lawyer, okay, you use my name, you perform the valuation services, you use my name for performing the valuation services. Absolutely wrong, not permitted at all. Okay, yes sir. कुछ लोग CS भी ऑडिट कर देते हैं, साइन सीए से करवा लेते हैं। वाह वाह वाह, ट्विंकल रुस्तगी ने तो बड़ा कमाल की बात बोली है। यस, इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग, नॉट ट्रेनिंग। शुभम भारद्वाज, इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग, ट्रेनिंग नहीं, लिखा है ट्रेनिंग। ओके, next, pay any share or commission or brokerage directly or indirectly in fees or profits of his professional work to any other person other than his partner. Now, a cost accountant cannot share his fees with any other person. I'll give you a simple example. Okay, I am a cost accountant. Client came to me. Client said, I want complete services with respect to return filing, with respect to valuation, with respect to GST. I want complete services. I told the client that I can provide GST and return filing services to you, income tax and GST I can provide, but I don't know valuation. I'm not aware about valuation. So I will hire a valuer. You pay me the fees. I will pay the valuer's fees to him. This is not permissible. On behalf of client, you cannot pay fees to someone else. You cannot share your fees with some other professional. Yes, you can introduce the client to the valuer, but you cannot pay valuer's fees yourself. So you cannot pay any share, commission, or brokerage in the fees or profit of his professional work to any other person other than the partner. You can share your profits with your partner, but not with any other person. So, if a lawyer is required, suppose a lawyer is required by the client, I cannot say that I will hire a lawyer, you pay me the fees, I will pay the lawyer. No, you cannot say this. You have to receive the fees which you deserve, and the fees which lawyer deserve, client will pay directly to the lawyer. Client will not pay to you. Client will pay directly to the lawyer. That is the principle. Okay. Third, accepts or agrees to accept any part of profit or professional work of any other person. Same guys, same goes vice versa also is true. So if a lawyer is giving cost services to his client, and the lawyer asks you that you give services to lawyer, and lawyer will give services to the client, and lawyer will share his fees with you, you should say a no. You can't receive the money, you can't pay the money. Both ways, the doors are closed. Neither can you receive the money, nor can you pay the money to some other professional. Okay, we cannot do that. No. Enters into partnership with any person other than cost accountant in practice. This is a very, very important point. So any kind of partnership is not permitted with any other person apart from cost accountant. So suppose if I want to open a partnership firm with a chartered accountant, can I do it? Answer is no, I cannot do it. If I want to open a partnership firm with a lawyer, can I do it? Answer is no, it is not permissible. Although the Partnership Act or the Companies Act permits multidisciplinary partnerships. And to an extent, guys, Institute of Cost Accountants of India has also accepted this fact of multidisciplinary partnership. But still, there are still some open-ended points which are still becoming lacunas in this particular subject matter. Okay, so that is the point. Okay, let's see what is the next misconduct. Let me check your questions. Twinkle is saying पैसे के लिए कुछ भी कर देंगे सर. Abhishek says, sir, can professionals from all three institutes join together to open a partnership firm? So guys, there is as I told you, there's a concept of multidisciplinary partnerships, but it is not as prevalent as of now because there are some restrictions from some institute ends. Yes, it is applicable for Silver 2022 also. Yes. Your GST lectures are superb. Thank you, Rahana KK. Thank you so much. GST lectures. Okay. Next is secure professional business from any person other than his partner, employee, or from any source which is not open to cost accountants. Very, very important, guys. in a subtle way, they are also restricting advertisement. You cannot secure any professional business from any person other than your partner or employee, or from any source which is not open to cost accountants. You cannot secure business from any other source. You cannot advertise. You cannot ask a lawyer that, dear Mr. Lawyer, please, while you are giving services to your client, please tell about me also. You cannot secure professional business from anywhere. Next, solicit clients. Solicit means invite. Invite clients or professional work by circular, advertisement, personal communication, interview, or by any other means. So you cannot invite client by advertisement. Prohibited. Personal communication. You cannot call the clients and tell them, I am a cost accountant. Can I do your cost audit? No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Yes, you can meet the client. You can tell your credentials to the client, but you cannot actively, just like you get calls of insurance. Do you want to take insurance? Do you want to take credit card? You cannot, call people and say that, do you want to get your cost audit done? Do you want to file your income tax return? Do you want to file your GST return? No, you cannot do that. It's against professional ethics. Advertises professional attainments or services or uses any designation or expression other than cost accountant on professional document. So you should not advertise your professional attainments. That I do cost audit of Reliance Industries Limited, I do cost audit of Tata Communication Limited. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. And you also cannot use any expression other than cost accountant on your visiting cards. So on your visiting cards, you cannot write I'm a tax advisor. On visiting card, you cannot write that I'm a expert in transfer pricing. You cannot do that. You have to write that you are a cost accountant. When you are a member of a professional body, you have to write that I am a cost accountant. That is the requirement. Okay. All partner CMA matlab, where have you seen this all partner CMA? Prajakta says when we register in Just Dial, we have to call the customer. No, not necessarily. Just Dial means that you will receive calls from your customers and you'll be connected to them. Just Dial won't call anyone. Suo moto. Okay. So this was, guys, first schedule part 1. Now we move on to first schedule part 2. First schedule part 2. Professional in relation to members of institute and service. This is related to people who are doing job, not practice. This is related to people who are doing job. So member in service. Service means a job. So first schedule second part is dedicated to people who are doing job. What all they cannot do. That is the ask. Okay. Pay to any person any share and emolument of employment undertaken by him. So they cannot pay their salary to any other person. They cannot pay their salary to any other person. So I'll give you an example. Okay. Suppose I am a cost accountant and I am doing job in Tata Communication Services and I'm their chief cost accountant. Okay. I hire a cost accountancy firm and tell them that I don't want to prepare cost accounts of this year. You please prepare the cost account, and whatever salary I will get, I will pay 50% to you. Because this year I don't want to work. I don't want to go to the office. Therefore, you do the work on my behalf and I will pay 50% of my salary to you. Not permissible. Not permissible. You cannot share your salary with anyone. Then it says, accept any part of fees, profits and gains from a lawyer, cost accountant or broker engaged by such company, firm or person, agent or customer of such company, or firm or person by way of commission or gratification. Now, guys, what happens is sometimes, there is a dire misconduct, which is, suppose I'm CFO of a very big company. Every decision is in my hands. Who shall be the cost auditor? This is also in my hands. I'm the CFO. I'm a CMA and I'm also a CFO of the company. And who will be the cost auditor? This is in my hands. There are 4 firms who have applied as the cost auditor in my company, and I tell them, whichever firm is going to give me 5 lakh rupees, I will appoint you as the cost auditor. This is impermissible. This is corruption. This is corruption, guys. This is fraud. Impermissible. So you cannot accept any part of fees, profit and gains of lawyer, cost accountant or broker engaged by such company, firm or person or agent or customer of such company, firm or person by way of commission or gratification. You cannot accept any money from any such people. Okay. Next, first schedule part 3. First schedule part 3 is related to professional misconduct in relation to members of institute in general, which means that this part is applicable for both people who are doing job plus people who are doing practice. This part is applicable for both. So part 1 only to people who are in practice. Part 2 only to people who are in job. Part 3 to people who are in job as well as in practice. Both. Yes, sir, both. So what are these? Act as a fellow of the institute if he is not the fellow of the institute. So guys, there are 2 levels of membership that you will get. First, you will get associate membership, ACMA, and then you will get fellow membership. Fellow membership you will get only after doing practice over a couple of years. After you do practice over a couple of years, then you are eligible for get your fellowship. Okay, fellow, you are a fellow. Suppose you are not a fellow. Fellow represent that you are very experienced. Fellowship means that you are experienced. Suppose you are not a fellow and you are telling people that you are a fellow. This is misconduct. You are and you are telling people that you are a fellow. This is a misconduct. You cannot do that. if you are not a fellow, you cannot claim yourself to be a fellow. So a person who acts as a fellow of the institute, if he is not a fellow of the institute, fellow means this is a level of a membership, guys. Associate membership and fellow membership. These are two kinds of memberships which are there, and you cannot tell yourself as a fellow if you are not a fellow. Okay. So Gaurav is asking which schedule is important for this exam. So I think first schedule, not for this exam, but generally, guys, first schedule is the most important schedule. First schedule is the most important schedule. Okay. Then he should not act as a fellow. He should refrain from supplying information called for by the institute council or any of its committee. So he should not refrain from giving any information to the institute. If institute is asking for information about the company, he should be open and free in giving that information to the institute. Then he should not supply, gives information knowing it to be false while soliciting work from other cost accountants responding to tenders or bid. So he should not supply any misleading information, any wrong information to anyone. That is again a professional misconduct. If you are supplying misleading information or wrong information to anyone, then again you are under professional misconduct. Then first part, schedule 4. Guys, first part, schedule 4 relates to other misconduct. So there are two types of misconduct. Professional misconduct, which means while you are performing your professional duties, then you are doing something wrong. Another is other misconduct, which means even when you are not doing your profession. So, in the evening, you are absolutely free. You're roaming about in the streets and, you beat someone. Will institute take an action against you? Yes, police will take an action against you for sure. But will institute take an action against you? Yes, it will take action against you under schedule 4, which relates to other misconduct. This is not a professional misconduct. This is other misconduct. So schedule 4 relates to other misconduct of in relation to members of the institute in general, which means it's applicable for both people who are doing job plus people who are doing practice. It's applicable for both practice and job. But this leads to other misconduct, which clearly means that institute is not only regulating your professional life, but also regulating your personal life. There is nothing called personal life when you become a professional. If you are professional, there is nothing called personal life. Your every conduct, your every behavior should be under some ethical standards. There's nothing called professional life, a personal life. So if you say, sir, till 6 o'clock, I'm very, very decent man, and I do whatever is required by me, whatever is ethical, I do all those things. But after 6 o'clock, I become absolutely unethical. I become rustic villager. I drink and I smash public property. Not permissible from the institute side also. Cannot do that. So first schedule part 4 leads to other misconduct. What are these other misconduct? He should not be held guilty by any civil or criminal court for any offense which is punishable with imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months. So that person should not be held guilty of any criminal offense for which he should be punishable for imprisonment exceeding 6 months. If he spends time in jail exceeding 6 months, then guys, this is a professional misconduct. He has done some professional misconduct. So if you are charged against the allegation of eve teasing, institute has all the rights to cancel your membership. Your membership will be cancelled. You might say, sir, but that is no business of institute. Why is institute intruding in my personal life? That's my personal life. Whatever I do in my personal life, that's my personal thing. No, guys, I've told you the golden formula. After you become a CMA, there's nothing called personal life. No, you cannot do anything wrong unethically in your personal life also. Mark it a point. सर बट इंस्टीट्यूट को क्या ये तो पर्सनल है ना, हमारा इसमें क्यों आएगा? ट्विंकल इज आस्किंग द सेम क्वेश्चन व्हिच आई हैव जस्ट रिप्लाइड कि पर्सनल लाइफ की वजह से प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में इफेक्ट पड़ता है. वेरी गुड आंसर गौरव अग्रवाल, क्योंकि पर्सनल लाइफ की वजह से प्रोफेशनल में इफेक्ट पड़ता है भाई. टेल मी what will be the institutes, what will be the newspaper headline next day? It will be CMA Twinkle Rustagi was found smashing public property. This is the headline. CMA will definitely be there. Cost accountant will definitely be there. Because to sensitize the newspaper, to sensitize any news, institute uses some professional body's name for sure. That is the reason. Yes. So he should not be held guilty by any civil or criminal court where he is where he is subject to imprisonment of more than 6 months. Then whatever brings disrepute to the profession, if you do anything which brings disrepute to the profession or the institute as a result of his action, whether or not related to professional work or not. Whether it is related to professional work or not. If you do anything that will bring disrepute to the institute, that will tarnish the goodwill of the institute, anything open-ended, anything, if you do anything which tarnishes the image of the institute, then it will come under the category of professional misconduct, and institute has all the rights to cancel your membership under the fourth part of first schedule. Now we come on to the second schedule. So guys, just like there is first schedule, there's second schedule also. Now let me tell you a brief difference between first schedule and second schedule. What is the difference between first schedule and second schedule? I'll tell you the difference. Okay. इंस्टीट्यूट कहता है इज्जत से रहो, प्रोफेशनल हो, तभी तो सीएमए प्रीफिक्स दे रहे हैं आपको, पूरे इंस्टीट्यूट का नाम खराब होता है. ट्विंकल को बात समझ में आ गई, देर से समझ में आई लेकिन दुरुस्त समझ में आई. वेरी गुड ट्विंकल. Okay, second schedule part 1. Now I was telling you the difference between first schedule and second schedule. Okay, so guys, the difference between first schedule and second schedule is that first schedule covers offenses which are little less aggressive in nature, which are punishable to a lesser extent, which are a little less harmful. And the second schedule covers those offenses which are very, very aggressive, which are very, very harmful, which are of a very high cadre, which are of a very high level. So schedule 2 are offenses which are very, very strong offenses, which are very, very tough offenses. And schedule 1 includes those offenses which are relatively less heavier, relatively less punishable. That is the difference. So schedule 2, part 1. Again, part 1 relates to professional misconduct in relation to cost accountant in practice. So this is applicable to cost accountant in practice, not on the cost accountant on job. Okay, he should not disclose confidential information acquired in the course of his professional engagement. We have already discussed this. Confidentiality should be maintained by the cost accountant. Certify a report of examination of cost accounting unless the examination has been made by him or his partner. So a person cannot certify a report without examining the statements. Some people, just blindly sign the audit report without even seeing the financial statements, just in a greed of money. Should not do that. Should not do that. Certify report of examination of cost accounting unless examination is done by him or his partner. Permit use of his name in connection with an estimate of cost or earning which is contingent upon a future event. So guys, very, very important. As a cost accountant, you cannot vouch for, or you cannot certify, or you cannot sign on a report which tells about some estimate of future projections. You are a cost accountant. You are not a oracle, the divine god. You are not the divine god that you will estimate the future. So professionals are restricted from estimating the future. You cannot estimate future cash flows like we do in our valuation. You cannot do that. You cannot estimate that, and you cannot sign it. You can estimate it, but don't sign it. Don't say that I, Nikkhil Gupta, the cost auditor with membership number so and so, certify that these future projections are perfect. You cannot do that. You can prepare it, but cannot sign it. So he should not permit use of his name in connection with any estimate of cost or earnings which is contingent upon future events, because in future whether it will happen or not, you're not sure about that. So that is not permissible. Express his opinion on cost or pricing statement of any business in which his firm partner or his firm has substantial interest. So again, restriction with respect to the qualification of the auditor. Similar restriction is there that if you have interest in the company, then you cannot be a cost auditor of that particular company. You should not have any financial interest in the company if you want to be the cost auditor of that company. We are not celebrities to give autograph on any document. Very good, very well said, Sharan, very well said. ट्विंकल सेज यस सर, बाजीगर मूवी वहां खेल हो जाए अगर ऐसे ही करते रहे तो. नहीं समझ आए. Do you have to learn schedule from theory or it's only relevant for case studies? No, Shubham, even if it's for case studies, then you have to learn these schedules, no? You should be aware about in which schedule is what offense coming in. Finally. Tarun Jain is asking practical question का weightage कितना होता है? Cost and management audit practical questions will come of about 35 to 40 marks out of 100 marks. Okay, this is the first schedule of second schedule of first part. Okay, then fail to report a material misstatement known to him to appear in the cost accountant. So if knowingly, okay, the word is knowingly, if knowingly he fails to report any material misstatement, the most important word is which is known to him, which is known to him. Knowingly, if he fails to disclose any material misstatement in the cost account, then he is subject to professional misconduct. Does not exercise due diligence, he is not careful in his work, or demonstrate gross negligence in the conduct of personal duty. So while you are conducting the personal professional duty, you should not be careless. Okay, if you show carelessness, then guys, you will be subject to these rules. Second schedule part 2, again professional misconduct in relation to member of institute generally, which means it is related to job plus practice. People who are there in job plus people who are there in practice. What is does it say? Contravene any provision of this act or regulation made thereunder. So whatever is written in this act, in this particular professional ethics code, if you don't follow it, then you get covered under second schedule part 2, which is the professional conduct part. Okay, for members who are in practice as well as members who are in a job, for both of them. Okay, sir. How much marks this chapter carry? 5 to 6 marks. No. Shubham, you don't have to address the schedule by schedule number or part number. You need not remember schedule number or part number. That is not a required thing. Okay. Okay, so he discloses confidential information acquired in the course of professional engagement. Again, not permissible if confidential information is disclosed. Furnish incorrect information to the institute, council, or any other committee. So you should not furnish any incorrect information to the institute or council or committee. Defalcate or embezzle monies received in his personal capacity. So he should not embezzle the money which is received to him in his professional capacity. He should not make any illicit gains from the professional attainments. So I'll tell you a very interesting story. Okay, please don't publicize this story. Okay, I used to do my articleship in one of the small firms. Okay, I did this training, finance training. So whenever my boss used to prepare income tax returns, and suppose the income tax which is calculated at rupees say 30,000. Okay, he would always tell the client that your income tax is 50,000 rupees. Give me 50,000 rupees and I'll file your return. Client used to trust him and give him 50,000 rupees. 20,000 rupees he used to put in his pocket apart from the professional fees which he is receiving from the client, and 30,000 rupees he used to deposit on behalf of the client. So this is what is prohibited over here. He cannot defalcate or embezzle money received in his professional capacity. So these small problems are there, but guys, I'll tell you out of my experience, please do not fall for such small greeds. These are small greeds. Don't fall for such small greeds. Otherwise, you will not grow in profession. If you don't show your trust in profession, then you will not grow in the profession. That is my request to all of you. Don't do that. सर जैसे टीचर होते हैं वो लोग प्रैक्टिस भी करते हैं और पढ़ाते भी हैं, तो सर ये इसमें आएगा क्या? किसमें, किसकी बात कर रहे हो? किसकी बात कर रहे हो? कहाँ लिखा है कि आप पढ़ा नहीं सकते जब आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो? तो ये कहाँ लिखा है? तो भाई पढ़ाने का क्या रूल होता है, मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि इफ यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग मेंबर ऑफ एनी ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट्स एंड इफ यू वांट टू टीच along with your practice, then you just have to intimate the institute that along with my practice I also want to teach. You get a permission from the institute. That is not prohibited, it is allowed. Today I am pushing myself and focusing, sir. Today my CS final exam went bad, sir. Open book, but entire paper was out of syllabus. Even after that much effort, paper was like that. Tejasvi, don't worry about this, okay? Professional examination is like that only. This is the heart and soul of professional examination. Don't worry, prepare for the next examination. Job or practice, sir, पढ़ाना भी अगर किसी coaching में. Job or practice you cannot do together. No. Okay. Perfect. Let's move on to part 3. Second schedule part 3. Second schedule part 3 is other misconduct apart from professional misconduct of member of institute in journal, which means it is applicable to people who are doing job as well as people who are doing practice. It is applicable for both of the people, whether you are doing job or practice. Second schedule part 3 is applicable to you. A member of institute, whether in practice or not, shall be deemed guilty of other misconduct if he is held guilty by any civil or criminal court for an offense which is punishable exceeding 6 months. So again, guys, this default is featuring in first schedule as well as second schedule. Both the schedules are featuring this particular clause. Why? Because if there are very grave offenses which a person has done, then he'll be covered in the second schedule. If there are very small offenses which the person has done, then they will be covered in the first schedule. Okay, so what is the escalation matrix? Once any default in these schedules are found, who's the adjudicating authority who will tell what is the punishment? In case of schedule 1, complaint is referred to board of discipline, which is an internal committee which is formed in the institute. Schedule 2, big offenses, okay, big miscompliances, complaint referred to disciplinary committee. This is a very, very strong committee. Okay, following actions may be taken: reprimand the member, scold the member, remove name of the member for 3 months, fine up to maximum of 1 lakh. In case of schedule 2 offenses, reprimand the member, remove the name of the member permanently. Please underline the word permanently. You can be devoid of your degree permanently, and fine up to maximum of 5 lakh rupees. That is the offense. Okay, so here I've tried to tell you the seriousness of disciplinary committee, guys. Okay, so board of discipline, a person with experience in law having knowledge of disciplinary matters, 2 council members and 1 director discipline. Okay, member of disciplinary committee should be: the council shall constitute disciplinary committee consisting of president or vice president of council as presiding officer. So who is the presiding officer? President or vice president of the council, very senior person. 2 members to be elected amongst member of council, 2 members to be nominated from central government. Look at this, how serious second schedule offenses are. Central government person will be there, person of eminence having experience in field of law, economics, business, finance or accountancy. That is the gravity of the second schedule. Second schedule is very, very grave, guys. Very, very grave. Okay, so these are common sections, guys. What are the penalties? On first conviction, what is the penalty? Subsequent conviction, what is the penalty? These are common sections. These I don't need to run past them. Okay, now let us do some practical questions and let's see if you are able to solve these case studies or not by yourself. Okay, you need to solve these case studies by yourself. Okay, one by one we'll be seeing these case studies and let's see who gives me answer first. A part. Okay, let's start with A part. A part says, a cost accountant in practice takes voluntary retirement from his employer and starts his practice. He continues his association with the previous employer as an advisor on a monthly retainer basis, whether it is categorized as professional misconduct or not. Whether it is professional misconduct or not. Guys, he is in employment, okay? And while being in employment, he is also doing his practice. Whether this is misconduct or not. A part, I want the answer. Pooja Shinde says some faculties who teach in our institute, they also practice as a CMA. That's not a problem. It's just that the institute is to be made aware of this fact. It's a misconduct or not. Everyone is saying it's a misconduct. Amitesh is saying it's not a misconduct. Prajakta is saying misconduct. Padma says no misconduct. Aarti says no misconduct. Suman says misconduct. Lakshmidhar says no misconduct. So the answer is it is not a misconduct. Why? Because he has broken all relationships with respect to his employment. And after that, he is associated with the previous employer as an advisor, not as an employee. Not as an employee. So it is not a misconduct. This is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. It's not a misconduct, guys. It is not a misconduct. Okay. Part B. A practicing lawyer specializing in anti-dumping cases comes to an informal understanding with the independent practicing cost accountant to assist him in preparing accounting statement to support his cases and agrees to share his fees on a percentage basis. So a lawyer comes to you and agrees to share his fees on a percentage basis with you, whether it is a professional misconduct or not. Whether this is a professional misconduct or not. Yes, Twinkle, very right answer. Whether it is a misconduct. Supreet says it's a misconduct. Who else? Yes, misconduct. Prajakta says misconduct. Abhishek says misconduct. Yes, guys, very right. It's a misconduct. You cannot share your fees with any other profession, and you cannot even receive fees from any other profession. It is absolutely a misconduct. Yes. Very good. Ghoshal has given an extended answer, and I would like to display Ghoshal's answer on the screen. This tantamounts to informal partnership and it is prohibited. It's a professional misconduct. This is the perfect answer Ghoshal has given. Very good, Ghoshal. Very, very good. Okay, next. C. Cost accountant gives a certificate of cost for product manufactured by SSI unit owned entirely by his son. So cost accountant is giving some cost certificate to a firm which is owned by his own son, whether professional misconduct or not. Please think through properly. Let's see. Everyone is saying it's a misconduct. Everyone is saying it's a misconduct. Abhishek saying misconduct. Gaurav is saying misconduct. Prajakta saying not. Very good. So guys, this case, guys, this is not a misconduct. This is not a misconduct. Why? Because if you have any substantial interest in that business, only then are you prohibited to audit that particular firm. But if your son has substantial interest in the business, then there is not a problem according to the professional misconduct schedule. It might be a problem according to Companies Act. It's not a problem for this particular schedule because the schedule says that you cannot audit a firm in which you have substantial interest. So not a misconduct. KC. Cost accountant gives certificate of cost of production for attaching with a tender for a cost plus contract. He comes to know after signing the certificate that his client has won a case with supplier on account of which the client is entitled to get a refund of substantial portion of purchase price of raw material. The certificate is not corrected. So, you gave a certificate to one of your clients regarding the purchases or whatever. Subsequently, you came to know, after you get the certificate, you came to know that the cost that has been approved by you is going to get refunded from the supplier. It is going to get refunded. Okay, so in a nutshell, your certificate is incorrect, whether it's a professional misconduct or not. Whether it's a professional misconduct or not. D part. Part C. So guys, in part C, we are saying that son is owning the SSI unit. So son has substantial interest in the SSI unit, but father doesn't have any substantial interest in the SSI unit. Father doesn't have any interest. So father can issue a cost certificate to the SSI unit. That is what. Yes, very, very good, guys. So, the cost accountant was not aware about this particular development when he was signing the certificate. So this is not a misconduct. But as a good practice, he should now issue an addendum to his certificate telling about this particular event which has happened. X is a shareholder in PQ Limited and holding 100 shares. Company's paid up capital is 500 crores. X accepts certificate work from the company. So X is a shareholder who's holding 100 shares in the company. Okay. The company's paid up share capital is 500 crores. X accepts certificate work from the company. X is doing certification work for the company where he is also a shareholder. So please tell me whether this is misconduct or not. Whether this is misconduct or not. He's a shareholder of 100 shares. Whether this is a misconduct or not. Absolutely. No, this is not a misconduct. No, it is not a misconduct. Why? Because to qualify it as misconduct, you have to have substantial interest in the company. You have to have substantial interest in the company. And X only has 100 shares in PQ Limited out of 5 crore share capital, 50 lakh shares. He has only 100 shares. But sir, we had read somewhere that, even holding one share is problematic. Guys, that is in case of Companies Act. In case of Companies Act, Holding even one share by the cost auditor is problematic for the cost auditor. Yes. Yes, perfect. Practicing cost accountant brings disrepute to the profession as a result of his action in his professional work. Of course, yes. If he is bringing disrepute to the profession, of course, this is professional misconduct. Practicing cost accountant for his personal advantage shares certain confidential information acquired from costing or cost auditing. Professional cost accountant has acquired some professional information and he is supplying this professional information. He is using the professional information. Absolutely a misconduct. Firm of cost accountant undertake cost audit of a company. The audit work is conducted by one of the partners and two assistants. A report is, however, signed by another partner. A report is signed by another partner. Permissible or non-permissible? H. So work is done by one partner. Report is signed by another partner. So permissible or not? Permissible, guys. Permissible. If the report is signed by his own partner, who's a cost accountant, permissible. If the report is signed by some other person who's not a cost accountant, not permissible. So this is permissible. I. Practicing cost accounting except assignment previously held by another cost accountant in practice after duly communication with him. So before accepting any assignment of cost statements, cost audit, the new cost auditor must communicate with the old cost auditor to ascertain why did the old cost auditor lose the business. Okay, that is a courtesy letter which is required to be issued. So no professional misconduct. A practicing member firm maintains branch office in India, each under separate charge of member of ICI. No misconduct. So having a branch in many cities, not a misconduct. Personal discussion or correspondence with prospective client relating to achievement and capabilities of practicing cost accountant. So you are doing a personal chit chat, you are doing a personal discussion with your prospective client, with your future client regarding your achievements. You are telling your achievements. So guys, a personal discussion is not a problem. A personal discussion is not a problem. Issuing a memorandum or issuing a certificate or issuing your advertisement is a problem. If personally I'm discussing my achievements with a client, not a problem. So it is not a misconduct. It is not a misconduct. Next, press publicity, not an advertisement regarding appointment as an auditor. You are doing press publicity, which means you have invited press and you have told them that I've become the cost auditor of Reliance Industries Limited. Wow. Not permissible. Not permissible. Whether it's an advertisement or through any other means, you cannot publicize your professional achievements. Not permissible. An advertisement notifying change in address or partnership. Advertising where change in partnership or change in address is denoted. Absolutely no misconduct, guys, because this is a usual thing. Mr. Jain, a practicing cost accountant, takes up job as full-time lecturer in XBL Management Institute in Jamshedpur, affiliated to Ranchi University. Same case as we had discussed, guys. A person who is into practice, he has obtained a lecturership in a college. Will it tantamount to professional misconduct or not? What is your answer? I'm at part N. What is your answer? Answer is very simple, guys. It's only that the practicing cost accountant should obtain permission from the institute for acting as a teacher. That is the requirement. If he has obtained permission from the institute, no problem. If he has not obtained permission from the institute, problem. He has to convey to the institute or take permission from him. Perfect, perfect answer. Tinkle. Okay, next. Mr. Pidhar, a cost accountant, uses visiting card in which he designates himself besides cost accountant as tax consultant. Not permissible. Not permissible. Mr. P. Nandakarni, a cost accountant practice in India, entered into partnership with RD Homes, CMA USA. CMA India having partnership with CMA USA. Not permissible. Not permissible. A certificate of practice is not required to be taken in case of CMA US. Then CMA Anusuya, a cost accountant practice, published a book, gave her personal introduction as an author. Details also mentioned her personal professional experiences and her association as partner with PKR and Associates, firms of cost accountant. So a person has issued a book, that is an authorship of a book, and that person has also told about his her association with the partnership firm, which is PKR and Associates. Whether professional misconduct or not, please tell me. Yes, it is a professional misconduct. Very good. Because she shouldn't have mentioned that she's a partner with CMA firm. He shouldn't have mentioned that, because this is tantamounting to advertisement. This is tantamounting to advertisement. This is advertisement, guys. This is a misconduct. Very good. I think first of all, no, before we go ahead, you should, guys, clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. Put that clapping emoji in the chat box. Clap for yourself, because you guys are really doing it well. It seems that you are absolutely prepared for your cost audit examination, and yes, you are going to get 80 plus marks in your cost audit for sure. So just give me a clapping emoji on the chat box. Next, Messrs. R.K. Bhatia and Associates, a firm of cost accountant practice, develops a website, bhatia.com. The color chosen for website is very bright yellow, where names of the partners of the firm along with their various professional attainments and major clients were to be displayed on the website. So it has opened a website, but very bright yellow color is there on the website. Very bright yellow color is there on the website, which is very, very eye-catchy. And on the website, all the partners' names and their attainments are written. So guys, what should be your answer? Please tell me, is it a misconduct or not? Abhishek says not permissible. Twinkle says no misconduct. No color is defined for website. Shubham, very good answer. Shubham Bhardwaj, very good answer. First of all, guys, no colors decided for website. Institute cannot tell us what color should we use for our website. So website color is our choice, and it's okay. No professional misconduct in that respect. But guys, he has he has publicized his professional attainments on the website. That is prohibited. You cannot say that, I have audited this client. You cannot say that. You cannot name the client. That is professional misconduct. So on the website, you cannot say that your professional attainments are that is impermissible. Then D.R. Radhakrishnan, a cost accounting practice, takes up appointment as managing director of Anukriti, a public limited company. Can a cost accountant take an employment in any company? Can a practicing cost accountant take employment in any company? Answer is no. Answer is no. So is Radhakrishnan under professional misconduct? Yes, he is under professional misconduct. Okay. So guys, if you take up employment now, in some cases, the institute permits it because it is a matter of prestige. So suppose you are, hired by, say, one of the Navratnas as their nominee director. Okay. In that case, it's a pride and privilege for the institute also. So you have to approach the institute, tell them that, I'm getting employed over here because of this reason. The institute will give you permission. Apart from that, it is a misconduct. If you don't do that, it's a misconduct. B. Horia and Company, firm of cost accountant, was appointed by company to evaluate the cost of various products manufactured by it for information. One of the partners of the firm were non-executive director of the company. Problem. One of the partner of the partnership firm was a director of the company. Professional misconduct or not? This is a very, very tricky one. Tricky one. Yes, it is a professional misconduct. Perfect answer, guys. Substantial interest. Very good answer. Very good answer. Yes, it is a professional misconduct. Mr. Arun, CMA's working manager, cost accounts for PQR. He accepts 10% of profit from his friend, Mr. Raju, a lawyer. He is doing job on retainership basis. Can a member in job accept any emoluments, accept any part of profit? Yes or no? Answer is no. Is this a misconduct? Yes, this is a misconduct. Then S, a CMA in practice, certifies a cost and pricing statement of manufacturing of pipes for the supply relating to contract. The statement is prepared by Mr. T, who is not a CMA or an employee of S. So Mr. S, practicing a cost accountant, is certifying some cost, and that analysis is done by a third party who's not even a cost accountant. Permitted or not permitted? Not permitted. It's a misconduct? Yes, sir, it's a misconduct. Arun Maya, the practicing cost accountant, engaged two trainees undergoing training under his guidance for audit job. Since the job was voluminous, he agreed to pay them, in addition to stipend, 10% of audit fees. 10% of audit fees is paid by that particular person to the audit assistants. Wow, we should also get such principals who pay us, apart from our stipend, they pay us audit fees percentage. Such a generous, cost accountant is he. So, is it a professional misconduct or not? Please answer in the chat box. Yes, this is a misconduct. Very good answer. This is a misconduct. Any practicing cost accountant cannot share his professional fees with anyone other than his own partner. This person, the article assistant, is not a partner. Therefore, this is a professional misconduct. Yes, this is a professional misconduct. Very good answer, guys. Very, very good answer. Perfect. So, yes, you have done all the questions very, very well. Okay. So, yes, there are certain similar. These questions are very easy, guys. These questions are very easy. Certain similar questions are there from your past year's examination also. If you do these questions, then it will be done. So, guys, yes, very, very, very important chapter from an exam standpoint. 4 marks, 5 marks, 6 marks. And trust me, nothing apart from whatever is given in your study mat of the institute will come from this particular chapter. So, a very, very straightforward and easy chapter. If you do all these case studies well yourself, you'll be able to absolutely clear your examination with flying colors with respect to this particular chapter. So you need not do anything else apart from whatever is written in your study mat. That's it. It's such an easy chapter. Yes, these PDFs will be shared with me in the link in the description box. I think my team has not put the link as yet, but I think tomorrow this link will be up and running. You will get your PDF of first, second, and third, all the 3 chapters in the link which is given in the description box below. So yes, link will be there and PDF will be sent to you very, very, very soon. Okay, guys. So yes, that's all for this particular chapter. We'll be meeting in our next session, guys. We'll be meeting in our next session. Yes, that's all for this particular session, guys. We have covered one of the most important chapters of our syllabus, which is professional misconduct. So we'll be meeting in our next session with more such chapters. And yes, probably in the next session, we'll be starting with cost accounting standards. Yes, one of the most important chapters of your syllabus from both theoretical and practical perspective. So yes, next class will be dedicated to, and next few classes, 2-3 classes will be dedicated to cost accounting standards. So get geared up for the cost accounting standards. We'll be starting cost accounting standards in our next class. So that's all for this particular session. We'll be meeting in our subsequent sessions. Till that time, all the very best and happy studying. Bye-bye. See you in the next session.